this week I'm posting my live stream from this past Sunday where I made biscuits and gravy. It was part of Rare Drop's Holiday Home and Hearth 2-weekend stream to raise money for a charity called AbleGamers, which supports players with disabilities worldwide. I'm going to put more info in the description so that you can find out more and how you'll be able to tune in to their second weekend that's coming up this Friday. There will be lots of wonderful people inviting you into their homes to cook and create with them, and I appreciate you tuning in.
Or use this goblet. This is the chat here on my phone. You can see it. It's in a goblet. Morning Pixel. Alright. We're making biscuits and gravy today. The primary thing that I always like to tell people is that if you have yeah, we got a galley kitchen in this kitchen, so it was very tiny until we knocked down the wall. The main thing I tell people when they are making recipes is to get everything out. Make sure you have all of your little containers for holding things, because we are going to look at our list of ingredients and measure them out ahead of time. You never want to miss anything. If you forget something, you're running around to find the thing while you're cooking, and it becomes hectic. And we're here to have a nice, relaxing morning. We don't want anything to really stress us out. What's up, lad man? Here for the biscuits and gravy. I'm here. We're gonna hydrate in honor of Snaps. She couldn't be here this morning. She was not feeling good. But she's here in spirit in this water for me. Hey, what's up, Omega? The OG son, bro. Oh my god. It's been a minute. Alright. I'm going to get started here because this takes a little bit measuring out my ingredients and getting ready to do the steps. So, first things first. I'm going to take some butter. We're going to make our biscuits first, so butter. Knife. Since I'm starting the day, I'm going to make sure my knife is sharp. Thanks, Omega. It was the one montage. It was inspiration for everyone. It's a little bright, right? Not much I can do about that. We have all of these little metal bowls at the house that I use for, measuring out all my ingredients and, whisking eggs or whatever. Having lots of little containers for your prep is the way to go. Right. We need 6 ounces of butter. And we need it to be in like 1/2 inch squares if possible. Now that's, the recommendation. We're going to get it as close to 1/2 inch squares as we can. Turn it on its side. Bam. I'm doing this first because I'm going to throw this butter back in the fridge. For most of these ingredients, you want them to be really cold. That's what gives you the layers to your biscuits, is the cold butter within them. So, 1/2 inch squares. Like I said, it doesn't need to be precise. We're going to be mushing these down later anyway. There is some different commands in chat, as in donation, incentives. You get to see what the incentives are if you do donate today. And all of that goes to help AbleGamers. And that's a charity. There you go, incentives. And that helps people who are disabled find their ways of gaming, improving the quality of life for those with disabilities. Near and dear to my heart. Omega, I am doing wonderful today. It is a little early, but you know I'm a morning person. So got our butter in here, little 1/2-inch cube boys. I'm gonna throw them in the fridge for a little bit. Oh boy. Gotta fix that. Very cramped kitchen. This can go back in too. Continue our way of going about things. Another chef tip I can give you is a little stack of folded towels. I got those here. Oh. A little stack of folded towels. Use these to grab stuff. I use these to clean. It's wonderful. Little tips. Move this out of the way. This is also another good tip, so your cutting board doesn't move around. Little sheet of drawer liner. You never made Biscuits Gravy? So I've made a ton of this in restaurants. I've probably made thousands of biscuits in my lifetime. They're a lot easier than most people think. It's very simple ingredients, 6 ingredients. It's really mostly about the this part where you are rolling them out. That's the most important part. You don't want to overwork it. You don't want to create gluten, lots of gluten. That's what makes them like tough and chewy. We want nice, light, and airy biscuits. Alright, let's start measuring out. I'm going to grab some flour, baking soda, sugar. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't make biscuits at home. I get the ease of use, I guess. So I've got my digital scale here. I'm gonna set it to ounces. Come on, you know you wanna. And this is just all-purpose flour here. We're going to use 14 ounces of all-purpose. And this will bake about 10 biscuits, give or take. $14. A nice little tip I can give you is any recipe that requires you to weigh your ingredients is a good recipe. Means it's exact. If you make them at home, you're going to eat them at home all day. Yeah, that's the downside of being able to cook amazing food, is that you always have amazing food at home. And that could be a detriment if you are trying to eat healthy, or, you know, that's what happens in our house. What is this, a teaspoon? going to use a tablespoon of sugar. Not a lot, but enough. And then 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder. There's one. Do I have a half? Two. I'm gonna bring it in here so you can see. I wish it was brighter in here. Or like a different type of bright in here. Alright, so we have our flour, our baking powder, our sugar, and we need salt. 2 teaspoons of salt. Basically just gathering all our dry ingredients here. Teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. $15.4. Lemon, are you trying to get the ingredients list? Or like try and keep track? I think it's because I added the other ingredients. It was weighing a little bit more than 14. But with that all together, make sure everything is well combined. You don't want little pockets of like baking powder or sugar or salt. You want it to be nice and evenly distributed. 14 ounces of flour, 1.5 tip. Oh, you know what? When I'm done this, I'll post it on my Twitter. That way, everybody has the recipe. All right, that's measured out. I'm gonna measure out my buttermilk next. Now, like I said, all this stuff, you really want it to be cold throughout the entire process. Cold buttermilk. Ideally, we can put this in the fridge. Make sure we have some cold flour as well. Which side is the open side? So, 10 ounces. Well, actually, just a hair over 10 ounces. Oh, what up, Dan? How are you, bud? See, Dan, eventually I'll be making these for breakfast at your place. Alright, buttermilk done. We're going to put this in the fridge as well. Now, everything is ready for the biscuits. I've got my butter, I've got my buttermilk, I've got my dry ingredients. They're all in the fridge, staying cold. I do want to also get my ingredients for the sausage gravy out and ready as well, because we don't want to be caught without everything ready. So, do some knife work. Hope y'all are enjoying your morning as much as I am. Get to hang out with you all. Garlic. Fast forwards time. Wouldn't that be nice? Get back to the way it was. Alright. Got 3 cloves of garlic here. And I've got an onion. So, once again, we are going to use our little containers. That'll be for our garlic. Give it a little tap. I love garlic, but sometimes the smell is a little overwhelming when it's raw, not when it's cooked. It is the most wonderful smell when it's cooked. We're just going to take off this little nub here. Everybody getting ready for the holidays. This is a great, like, Christmas morning breakfast, in my opinion. And I'm not going so fine with this. I like kind of big chunks of garlic, especially if you cook it properly and you have, you kind of render it like soft. You need a new knife set. Let's just say a sharp. This isn't anything special. It's just a Acero or something like that. I have this at home because my wife likes to beat up our knives. So, something at home that's not too expensive. I do have. This is my personal chef knife that I use at work. And that's a Misono. See it? That's the special one. Yeah, as long as it's sharp and you keep it sharp. Rec, good morning. It is early. But I'm a morning person, like I said. Do half an onion here. We don't need this. I'll cut that up later. And we got our little bowl. Now, God, I wish it wasn't so bright. So when I'm cutting an onion for this, I want it kind of fine. I don't want to have to blend up the final product for the gravy, so I'm going to do some nice knife work here. On the side. And then across the top. There we go. Boom. I'm going to finish this up. And I'm happy that I did not drink coffee this morning because I was already nervous enough. Can't let the anxiety get to me more, right? Alright. Onions, done. You can tell I'm gonna be on my way to ER. Yo, using a knife isn't that hard. Alright, we'll do a quick little knife tip here. Clean as you go. That's the important part. You don't want to end up with a huge thing of dishes at the end. Alright. So, holding a knife. So, holding a knife is like a handshake. I'm going to grab it like we're going to give a handshake to someone with thumb on the side here. That's what this little nice beveled edge is for. And then like this. A lot of people hold it like this. If you hold it like this, you're using your whole arm to cut, and this isn't very stable. But this you just use the bottom half of your arm, and it's less work. So, learning to get this down first as you hold your knife is pretty important. And it keeps you a little bit safer. The next thing to work on is that the safest place for this hand is right against your knife. Literally right against it with your little claw hand. It's more dangerous to keep that knife than replacing it. So, right up against it. This is the safest place for your hand. And you can move with it. And that's how you can like make your knife cuts even. I think that was the first day of culinary school. I was learning that. Protective gear for practice. Yeah, they just had us cutting like onions and carrots and celery. All that fun stuff. We got some breakfast-style sausage from Whole Foods? Yeah, Whole Foods. Where'd my flour go? Like I said, I'm going to get literally everything ready. If you care for the recipe, like I said, I'm going to post it in this. I'll post it with these measurements on my Twitter after this. 3 tablespoons of flour. We'll season the salt and pepper later, and I'll measure out the cream. It's 3 cups. 1, 2, 3. Rec, I am so happy you are here. I feel like I was just as nervous as you were. Said Biscuits Gravy, did I come to the right place? Yes, you are in the right place. So, for this the gravy part, I'm going to pour these 3 cups of heavy cream into this pot and just kind of get it to warm. This will help us. This is a trick. This is a tool for later. This will help us later when we are trying to create like a thickened gravy. Having it warm is going to go faster than going from cold. In it goes, making a freaking mess. I think I saw the biscuits wreck that you and Amy made them. And they looked so good. I was like, damn. And I'm going to be over here making doing a stream on how to make them. They look so good. I have to live up to that. Alright. I'm going to put this on my stove. I don't quite have a good camera angle for that yet. When we go to cook it, I'll pull it over here. Don't let my floor get messy. Oh, you love ceviche? I love sushi. I just like any raw fish, essentially. Yeah, we're at 5,500. I think the goal was, what, 1,000? Smashing that goal. Alright. See, having these may seem like more dishes in the end, but in reality, it's helping me stay cleaner as a whole. So, I don't mind cleaning them at the very end. And especially as I do it, it'll be like, oh, that bowl's done. Let's clean that right now. Wash our knife. Sushi's so good. We have a wonderful sushi place in Philly. They've been able to survive through COVID and have been doing well, actually. I think they actually have been doing doing sushi for the Eagles. So, obviously, it hasn't been helping the Eagles. But I've been enjoying it. A Pop-Tart breakfast. Oh, no. Pop-Tarts are good, though. What flavor of Pop-Tart do you prefer? I ate in high school. I ate so many of the s'mores Pop-Tarts. It's like so many. I pretty much lived on those and like soft pretzels. Chocolate fudge, wild berry, strawberry, no icing, blueberry. Still live off them. Alright, I got too many knives. No Pop-Tarts in Europe. Oh my god. Do you have toaster strudels in Europe? I feel like that's like the next thing, right? Toaster strudels. My wife's sister, this is like a story they always like to tell, is that her sister would steal the icing from all the toaster strudels and put it on hers and leave the rest of the family with none. Alright. It's biscuit time. I did that. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way. Unacceptable. Where did I put the butter? Alright. So, cold butter, cold flour, in they go. And you could do this part You could do this part in like a food processor, but I'm going to do it by hand. And we're just going to essentially press these flat. These little cubes that we made, these half-inch cubes, get them flat within our flour here. Like I said, it needs to be cold. This is what the important part of biscuits is, not overworking this, and cold butter. Just gonna work my way through, making sure. Oh, I got it so bright, nice and flat. And if you did this in a food processor, like 2 to 3 pulses in the food processor, that's about it. Yeah, you know, every once in a while I like to get messy. I wear enough aprons at work. I get a little messy and just wash my clothes at home. So, if you are, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. If you're unfamiliar with me, my name is Chef Swain. I was part of the Destiny community for a while. Did a podcast about Destiny. We moved on. We did another podcast, and in real life, I'm a chef. 10 years or so now. That 10 years of chefing, and most recently I've been doing a YouTube channel teaching you how to cook. And a little bit of you get to see my thought process when I'm making something interesting. Alright, so. All of our little butter cubes have been flattened. Well, turn this off helps. Does that help, or does that make it worse? Yes. So, all of those are flattened in there. I've got my cold buttermilk here, and we're just going to pour that in. All of it. And it's not required that you have a neat spatula with a smiley face on it, like I do, but it helps. And you're just going to combine this. The key here is to get one homogeneous mixture. You don't want dry spots. It will not be overworking it. You just don't want any little dry areas in here. It's a good spatula. Good rubber spatula. Alright, it's starting to come together. I don't think there's any really dry spots to this. If I were to I could push this together. And that's right about what we're looking for here. For it to just be able to be kind of squished back together. All right. So this next part, is the part where you can overwork it. I've gotten it to come together in this like nice little square rectangle. So we're going to lay it like flat and then fold it in half. And then we're going to repeat that 2 more times. All right, so and as far as flour goes, I'm not flouring my surface, I'm only going to flour my hands. So, keep this off to the side here. And I'm just flattening these out. No rolling pin required. Just going to keep flattening and kind of shaping this into a square. I want to get the most out of this dough as possible. So since I'm going to be cutting in the squares, I kind of want my shape to be a square. And we're looking for about like a 1/2 inch thickness here before we fold. Now, got my nice little bench scraper here in case I need to get it. And then I'm just going to fold it in half. Remember what I said, you're going to want to put flour on this. Only on your hands, not on the biscuits. So that's 1 time. We're going to do it 2 more times. So. It is a little warm in my kitchen. Something to just keep in mind. It's 2 times. We're going to fold it 1 more time after flattening it out. And this part is what creates those nice, like, flaky layers. So your butter and your dough, creating nice little happy layers of flaky biscuit goodness. All right, put up half, and then that's our final fold, right there. Top. Only flouring our hands. And this is the final. So we're going to get nice and shaped here. And as far as these are concerned, I'm going to leave this a little bit thicker. Not going to go to 1/2 inch. Probably more about 3/4 of an inch. If it wasn't 2020, I'd drive to Philly. Oh, such a bummer. All right, so we folded this a bunch of times, and we've essentially created an edge right here. That where we were folding it from. This edge, if I were to leave this uncut, it would be like that. You see biscuits that are like that open book shape, where one side is like kind of like, and then the other side is up. That's because it was cut along that line. Still flaky, still nice and layered, but it has that like, doesn't have like a sharp edge where it was cut. So that's what we're gonna cut that little edge off and then work from the middle. But I need a sheet tray for these. So, next tip, make sure that this is inside here, and it'll help you get a more even edge. And this thing can be a pain. Pan spray just a little bit on my pan because I want to stick this to it. See if we're good here. Not the most even, but we're good on that. So, like I said, I'm going to cut this edge off. And then, just so my biscuits are even, I'm going to clean this up too. Now, you can keep these scraps and roll it one more time. And like you're just going to press everything together. It's not going to be the nicest looking biscuit, but it'll still be biscuit, right? Cook these off. Why not? Alright, so... Okay, so I'm going to get like 8 out of this. So right down the middle. Do it in half. Half again. And half again. And you can see, look at that. Even before I cut it, well, right after I cut it, even before it gets baked, you can see the layers in there. And if you wanted to, you could put these like right up against each other in this little pan, and they'll come together. But you can always cut them after you bake them, so that they're less close. There we go. Let's make some. We'll make a couple. We'll make a long boy. That's the pre-breakfast snack biscuit. This is the chef's biscuit. So the person that gets to make it gets the extra one. So, like I said, I'm going to flatten this out with my extras. Fold it once. And we're going to get rid of that little edge. And that. And they go, alright, say, look, not bad. This is the re-rolled one. And it'll be up here in the corner. So that when we bake it off, you'll know which one it is. Just a little bit of, scrap. No, you don't want to re-roll it too many times. If you roll too many times, you're going to end up with the tougher biscuits. Nobody likes tough biscuits. Smaller and smaller biscuits until there's just a pea-sized biscuit at the very end. All right. I'm going to put these in my fridge for just a little bit. They got worked a decent amount, and some of that butter has started to melt, so in the fridge they're going to go. That. Normally, what I'm filming for YouTube is just me in here. It's still kind of cramped, but now I've got like a tripod. This is the perfect time to kind of clean as you go. We're done with these. Oh, and speaking of snaps, hold on. Do another hydration round. Before we move on to, we're going to adjust this camera angle a little and figure things out so that you can see the biscuits and gravy. Well, you can see the gravy getting made. But we're going to hydrate real quick. And I'm going to spray down this counter. Hi, welcome to my house, where we have dried flowers and a vine and a nice mother of pearl plant and another vine. Buttermilk and Crisco. Yeah, Crisco's a good one. It's really all about like flavor, like that fat is going to offer those layers. Okay. So I'm gonna brush the top of these with some buttermilk.
Let's do this.
What was that? Did I get a follow? I don't stream often, so I don't know what happened. Alright, so I've got a nice little cup of buttermilk. I'm going to brush that on the biscuits. My oven is already at 400, ready to go, so we'll get that started soon. I'm going to take us over to... I'm going to attempt to take us over to the oven. So, hold on. Move you here. Bright. My apologies if this is jarring. Swap this for this. this work? I think that works, right? Oh, that's cool. I haven't heard of someone trying that technique, but all right, I think we're good here. So the plan is we're going to cook off this sausage. We're going to pull the sausage out, cook the onions and the garlic in that sausage fat, add our flour, and then we'll add our milk. So this is the front. It's my beautiful cast iron pan that I got for free. So many people are getting rid of their cast iron pans that you should never pay money for them. Or at least try not to. I got this one for free. This one for free. This is from like the 30s. This one. And I've got like 2 other ones. Yeah, it's a Griswold. This is just a Lodge, but Lodge can do the job. So just a tad bit of canola there, and I'm going to just throw that. I'm not too worried about it being in there when it's hot, because it's not going to crisp up right away, and we want it to kind of cook through. So. This is just breakfast sausage. It's already flavored. We will salt and pepper and maybe adjust the taste a little if I don't like it. Welcome everyone if you're just showing up in chat. We're here raising money for AbleGamers. That is a wonderful charity that supports players with disabilities worldwide, including estimated 46 million players in the US. So you can hit exclamation point donation in the chat and exclamation point incentives, and that will show you what you could possibly win as part of like a raffle for donating. Boom. There you go. In the chat. Love that. See, I've got sticky buns from yesterday that have been calling my name, but I know that I'm making breakfast now, so later. Later, sticky buns. Alright, how much time do we have left for our block? We got about an hour. That's plenty of time. This is going to take about 20 minutes of simmering. The biscuits take about 20 minutes. So, we can get those in now. Alright, man. The biscuits, I've got my little thing of buttermilk. Find my brush. So a little silicone brush. Little silicone brush. I'm just going to brush that on top here. These are thick, thick biscuits. Just how I like them. Alright, buttermilk is on. It's done. Like I said, 20 minutes. We're going to put these in for 20 minutes. 400. I will be checking. I'll be checking these at like 15 minutes. Simply because I don't trust my oven. Most ovens actually fluctuate in temperature throughout a baking process. They can go 50 degrees this way, 50 degrees that way. So checking a little ahead of time will give me like a heads up if they're cooking faster, or if they're browning too quick. Maybe I can turn the oven down a little, or I can open the oven a little, maybe let off some of the heat. But now that they're in, I'm going to set an alarm for 15 minutes. Oh, you never had biscuits and gravy? You gotta try. You gotta try. It is so worth the work. I was saying earlier, I'm going to post the recipe that I used today on my Twitter when I'm done, so you can check that out. I am on Swing Sash on Twitter. And it'll be adjusted because a lot of my recipes are for... You can't really see my face. Don't mind this. A lot of my recipes are for restaurant use. So they're very big. So I'm going to have to adjust it down a little bit so that it's for home use. Oh no. I'll forget that later. It's definitely not a thing. Which is so weird. It's so easy. Like DVI off of the recipe. This is a good technique. It may not work with this sausage as well because there's not a ton of fat in it. But normally, if you're cooking like ground beef or something that is fatty, if you make this a little ring here, all of the moisture is going to come out and go towards the center. And it's going to cook off quicker if there's a little hole in here for it to have direct access to the heat. So if you do that, the water starts to cook off. You kind of see it right here with this bubbling. That'll help your, once the water is cooked off, your meat will brown faster. Good for if you're doing taco night or something. And you're cooking off a bunch of ground beef. It's early morning. Have you hydrated yet? Drink your water. And represent your friends. Con. Jim. James. A very Destiny-heavy water bottle. Alright. Like I said, it's kind of start to see it. I'm going to break these up. I don't want big chunks in the gravy. I want it to be a little bit more fine. Obviously, personal preference. But very easily could be substituted for like mushrooms. You could use mushrooms. You could use honestly the Beyond, like the vegan stuff, is pretty good. You just want to kind of spice it a little bit like breakfast sausage. So a little bit of sage, a little bit of white pepper if you've got it. Obviously black pepper. Some red pepper flake. Nice warm spices. Maple syrup. There's some people like their sausage flavored that way. I don't know if I do that for biscuits and gravy. Do that again. Huh. 10 minutes left on the biscuits before we check them. And we'll check them together. Make sure everything's looking good. Maybe not. Maybe not with biscuits and gravy. Well, you never know until you try, right? There's a lot of stuff I've learned over the years that was really good, but I didn't know until I tried it. As you can see, this is starting to brown up a little bit. We cooked off all that liquid, and now it has just the fat to cook it. Turn into an ASMR. I mean, isn't that why we're here? Just to enjoy a nice little morning together. Real relaxing. It's like you're in my kitchen with me. We're just shooting the shit. Hey, cooking some biscuits and gravy for y'all. Crackling of the sausage. The only thing that's the downside here is you can't smell. I can smell the biscuits starting to bake. What would smell ASMR be? Wait, what is? I'm getting too into it. Ooh, nice little drizzle of honey. Now that's nice. It's not gonna look the best, but I had some honeycomb sitting. We just throw it in some tea. Smell-o-vision. It would be pretty good, especially for this. Alright. I'm going to reuse this bowl. arm strength right there, right? Now, we've got all this beautiful fond here at the bottom. I'm going to turn this down just a tad. Keep that back there. Now, the best part here is to get some of this up while I'm cooking my onions. This is like good caramelization here at the bottom. We want that. We want that in our biscuits and gravy. So, got our onions. Got our garlic. Into the sink. Now the moisture of this cooking off is going to bring up some of that fond, but you definitely do want to lifting skillets, yeah, pumping iron. Yeah, we're going to get some of that fond up just simply because this is cooking and it's going to release that liquid. Sorry, disappearing there for a second. We've got a little knob of butter that I'm going to throw in at the very end here before I put my flour in. Stuff off the side there. Set with our sausage. There's our flour. Now this is good smell-o-vision. I'm also going to, right above you, watch out, look overhead. Since we got a little bit of our fat here, I'm going to throw in some pepper flakes. And we're going to just get those sizzling, release some of their oils while we're doing this. Correct. I wish I could share this with y'all. Maybe one day. We'll do a nice live version. Anybody can try this. Alright. I'm gonna put this. That butter's gonna go in there. Just gonna let that melt. We're letting this melt. We're gonna add this flour to it, about 3 tablespoons of flour, to create our roux, and that's just like a fancy French word for like a thickener. You could, if you are gluten-free, I would just do like cornstarch slurry. If you're gluten-free, you probably are already a little familiar with that concept, because most people are good at making their way around things. Now, just want to get this to combine, and then we're going to let it cook for just a little bit before adding our liquid. It's our biscuit timer, so I've been carrying this towel around the whole time. Good thing. Now, you can see they're cooking up nicely, but it's only time. Back in they go. And the other way is that, like, my oven could be going under, so it might need more time. And seeing that there, I think this is going to need like 10 more minutes. At least that far. 10 more minutes of cooking. And it's not going to overcook. That ends up being about 25 minutes total. And we'll even see then. You know, sometimes that's not enough time. It's really all about your oven. So I cooked this flour butter mixture roux for about 2 minutes here. That's going to cook off some of like the harshness that comes with your flour being in there. In our milk mixture goes. This is heavy. This is actually just heavy cream. And I'm going to grab myself a whisk. And we're just going to whisk this together. Now, the roux is going to thicken this up nicely once everything's kind of at the right temperature. And we're going to cook it on here for about 20 minutes. We'll see. Milk mixture, but it ended up actually just being heavy cream. I didn't have milk on hand, so you can do half heavy cream, half milk. I think it's 3 cups total. Just whisking to get that to combine. Heavy cream is full of fat, so... Oh, wow. Did we get a donation? Did I miss a donation? We're at 6,000? Oh my god. Wait, the goal is 6,000. Oh my god. Never mind. I thought... Man, my brain. I think the goal just got adjusted. Good time to talk about AbleGamers. There is commands in the chat for how to donate, ! donations, and ! incentives. And you also go to AbleGamers.org. That'll tell you more about what they are doing. Donate, yeah, ! donate. They're a great organization. Yeah, you can find me in all these locations. I primarily do YouTube channel stuff now. I've got some exciting stuff coming up. I just did grilled cheese. Was feeling a little heavy after Thanksgiving. As you can see, this is starting to thicken up here. And I'm going to add... Ooh, that is hot. I'm going to add this back in. So all those flavors can kind of come together. Nice, heavy sprinkle of salt. Salt is life. Yeah, sausage goes in the gravy. You can. You can use almost any fat. I've used like canola oil and whatnot, but a little bit of butter. I used a little bit of butter for this one. Heavy sprinkle of salt and pepper. My pepper mill broke, so since it's the holidays, I'm kind of holding off on buying a new one. Just got some pre-ground pepper. Not the best, but still tastes good. And I'm going to turn this down to like a bare simmer. I don't want it to be too hot. I wonder if I could bring y'all in close. Look at that. Mmm. Yeah, quick. We were doing a fundraiser. This is put together by Snaps. She Snaps. She wanted to give, as well as doing the donation side of things, wanted to give people, a place where they felt like they were warm, they could enjoy the holidays, especially now that we're all kind of like socially distancing. It's a little bit tougher to be home by yourself. So welcome you into my home, where we're going to cook this beautiful breakfast. See, nice and really thick. I'm going to put this back in. And we got 5 minutes on our biscuits before we check them again. I'm going to peek. They're little. Turn this up. Like I said, my oven's a little off, so I'm turning the heat up a little so that these last 5 minutes are a lot hotter and the outside gets a little bit more golden. I'm also going to use this thing. Bam. This is a cake tester, and I'm going to use that to get a feel for whether or not they are cooked all the way through. Important kitchen item here. A little cake tester. With that being said, I'm going to taste this. Tasting as you go is so important. If I can teach you one thing today, it's to taste as you go. Made me realize we need a little bit more salt. And we'll get fancy with it here. I've got this little bit of hot sauce. Add that in. A little bit of spice. Never hurt anybody. Yeah, Casey, this is a lodge. This is, I was saying earlier, this is one of a few that I've actually gotten for free. Let's see if I have the other ones out. I found this one. Here, let me pull this up. I found this in the trash. And I don't use it that much, but a gigantic Lodge Dutch oven. We're saying this one, I got this Griswold. Where's my other one? kind of wish I knew where the other one was. Yeah, right. In the trash of all places. Now I'm concerned as to where it is. Yeah, it's in here. It's in my oven. I've got this Wagner ware one that I got for free as well. It needs a little bit of love. Yeah, I actually did a video on my YouTube about how to properly clean, how to properly take care of and restore a cast iron. Wagner, Lodge, Griswold. Yeah, I got them all for free. Obert, all for free. My local Buy Nothing group on Facebook. People were just giving these away. I lucked out with the Wagner and the Griswold, though, because they were in the same post. Someone was getting rid of like an enamelware thing, and everybody was so excited about the enamelware, and I was like, the cast iron, give me the cast iron. All right, well, here they're coming along. I think it's just a little bit more time. I want those tops to be nice and golden. But I'm going to give it a test here. It's cooked through. Just a tad bit longer on these. They got this nice little crispy top from the buttermilk. Oh, man. I appreciate all of y'all coming by and hanging out with me in my kitchen today. We'll try and do like I'll set up this other area and we'll get a nice little like action shot with the biscuits going on the gravy. Yeah. If you're in my kitchen, I'm always bustling about, making sure that everything is put away and everything's clean. It's so much easier to cook in your kitchen if it's clean. Yeah, the only thing I basically only have cast irons. My other ones, I had some like non-sticks and such that I use. Maybe we'll do an egg. Who wants to fry an egg? Hey, Paradosis. Oh, why am I holding this? You want with fried egg. To always cooking through the kitchen. Alright, this is where I flex my years of being a brunch cook. some clarified butter. It's literally my 10 commandments is cleaning as you go 10 times. Alright, question. How would y'all like this egg cooked? Well, these 2 eggs. You want it sunny side up? You want over easy? Over medium? What do you want to see? Since I'm cooking for you. Over medium. Nice. Over medium. Over easy. Well, we kind of do both, right? So inclined. Approach with no vinegar. Why you got a handicap me like that? Alright, we'll do over easy. That seems to be consensus. So, I'm going to let my pan heat up. Eggs are better cooked over lower heat. Speaking of heat, let's check our biscuits. Oh, hell yeah! Look at that. We're stuck there. Some ASMR continues. So, like most things, you're going to want to let these sit for about 5 minutes before you serve them. The crumb needs to kind of set up, so don't jostle them too much. Those are going to sit over there. We're going to cook our eggs, and then we'll assemble everything in a minute. Alright. Trying to think of the best way to describe how to do this, but I tend to just like crack, and my finger goes in here and pulls it apart with, my index and pointer. That. And that is your one-handed egg crack. Not tablespoon drops. Okay. Yeah, if you just gently drop it from a little bit high, it ends up being just fine. I like to move the pan around.
Let's do this.
Gives us a little bit of more of an even cooking surface. You can see the top on this one is a little bit undercooked, so I kind of move that over to the side and have that side cook a little bit more. This is the best part about a cooktop that has multiple areas. I can move it. You put a lid on. Yeah. The flip is the hardest part, right? See, that one's not quite set up. This one, if I wanted to, I would be able to flip this one, no problem. So over easy would mean I'd probably flip it right now. Right? Oh no, one of my eggs broke. That's fine. I ain't picky. Hopefully you aren't too picky as well. We're gonna pretend like it didn't. But it looks good. A good way of telling the quality of your eggs is if you don't see the yellow on the bottom here. If you don't see the yellow on the bottom, that means you have really fresh eggs. If they sit for too long, the inside tends to break down. The albumin separates from the white, and the yolk tends to rest on the bottom. So, over easy, real quick. Don't even have to spend much time on the other side. I can flip like a few rice on the pan. Alright, so we're going to move this whole setup back over here for the final. Oh. You see all my dishes, my eggs. Alright. Set it all back in my corner. Put this up back up here. I wonder if this looks better without this. Yeah. Alright, here we come back. Chat is back. Good morning, nerd. Alright. Wonder if I should lower y'all. Get the action shot here. You flipped the omelet. Omelets are nice. I love omelets. All right. Put this back up here. So. We've got our 2 eggs here. And if you were here for when I assembled them, this was the one that was like like our scraps. Not too bad. But I want to do Where's my big spoon? Boom. Give me a big spoon. There we go. Biscuits and gravy. With an egg. It wasn't part of the description, but let's dig in. I wish I could share this with y'all in person, but you'll just have to settle for watching me. Nice, layery, flaky goodness. Oh. Guys, Obi's here. Come in. Do you want sausage? Sit down. Well, come on. Back up. Come on. Sit. Good boy. All right, that's enough. No stop. No more. Right, you'd miss your favorite part. Snaps. Here, let's analyze our biscuit here. Boom, nice and flaky. Layery. You can use it to dip into your cast iron full of sausage, or you can set yourself up with some eggs and the whole 9 yards here. This is for you. No. Yeah. So, like I said before, let's switch. So, like I said before, we're going to have this recipe on my Twitter. I'll make it so that it's really easy to read, and it's made for like at home, because a lot of my recipes, like I said, are restaurant versions. You don't want to do the dishes, Onion? Well, good thing I'm really good at them. If you do end up making this recipe, send me a picture. I'd love to see what y'all do. Oh, so hungry. I didn't eat anything before doing this. Oh, snaps. Cheers. I drank this whole thing while doing this today. You're dope. Huzzah! I'll do it 3 more times. It's only 10 in the morning. That's plenty of time to hydrate. Let's see, Obi. Always watching. What are you doing? I've got biscuit crumbs all over my beard. Thank you for having me here today. I really appreciate it. It's only 8 a.m. Oh boy. It's so early. Well, 4:12. Oh my god. So, we are here for a reason. We're going to be passing the torch off to our next person quite soon, next like 15 or so minutes. Like I said, we're here to support AbleGamers. You can use !donate in the chat and !incentives. That will be how you can find out more about AbleGamers and their wonderful resources. These crumbs need to be destroyed. You can find me on YouTube, Chef Swain, on Twitter, that's Swainstash, on Instagram, that's Swainstash. It's the best places to find me. I'm usually posting pictures of him and my food. He likes to be a part of this process. He literally just woke up. That's why he's down here. Boom. Donate. Welcome, Magic. Oh my god. So many wonderful people here today. Musical talents. Oh god. Please don't make me sing. Obi is the destroyer of chromes. So if you make a mess, they're there for you to clean it up. Speaking of messes. Oh no. I should eat this egg too, right? Not quite over easy. It's too much time in the pan. Sound like that man. My water here. You can see Obi in school. He's a good boy. Should fill up my water. I don't remember reading what the handoff is like. I just show up in Discord, right, and we end at the same time. Well, I end and he starts at the same time, right? Oh no, you can't have runny. Do you just have scrambled now? Snaps? Oh. I can't stop eating this. Oh, nice. Okay. That sounds great. I thought I timed this perfectly, but whatever. No, you eat. Watch me eat breakfast. Whew. See, the best thing about scrambled though is it's good for breakfast sandwiches. I eat so many breakfast sandwiches. You did time it perfect. Omelets are great too. They're topping delivery devices. Yeah. I've made so many eggs in my lifetime. What is it? Working brunch. This is egg hell. Peregrante. Dwezel actually worked for 8 years, ran a place called Rex 1516. I left there last year. I work for a different company now, mostly just managing their back-of-the-house operations. A few different locations. Less chef, gives me more time to make YouTube videos, gives me more time with my family, so I prefer that. Beards and brownie. Yeah, I usually go scrambled with my breakfast sandwiches. for that very reason. So you get that with burgers. Put an egg on your burger. Oh, nice, Dwezzle. I work for a company called Cook and Solo. Place called Diesengoff primarily. I work at Goldie, which is like hummus and hummus toppings and pita. Goldie does falafel sandwiches, falafel salads. They also do like vegan. Everything's vegan at Goldie, and they do vegan milkshakes. This is a family. This is a family channel, Snaps. Here, this is for you, Tai Chi. This one's specifically for you. Here you go. So far, you've only figured out cheesesteaks. Hummus, like good hummus, is good. Is like really good. There's just like a staggering difference between the two. Yeah, Snaps, when I finish up here, I'm going to tweak the recipe so that is the amount for making, how many were here? Like 8 biscuits. And then I'll post it on my Twitter. That with and the gravy recipe as well. There was many a flake were had with this. There we go. Bottom's a little dark, but I'm gonna say, figuring out your oven is the hardest part of being an at-home cook. This is when you get it at restaurants, yeah. Yeah, especially at brunch. People kind of like forget brunch and just do kind of a half job on it. But I love breakfast foods, so. I was so bummed that I missed Andy's pancake stream yesterday, because I love pancakes. Oh yeah, that's why I made like 10 biscuits, because later I can just like a little bit of jam, a little bit of honey. Biscuits are like an all-day thing. Some tips for your gravy. Completely cool it down and put it in a little container. You can just heat it up a little bit at a time later on. I would add a little bit of milk to it if you have it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a little too early. Wait, I was working yesterday, so it was a little too early for me. Oh no. Snaps, that's such a bummer. Like, good biscuits and gravy are just, like, mind-blowing, but it's so easy to mess them up. But I also used to do, like, a drop biscuit. If you ever had drop biscuits, they're super easy as well. It's literally just making the dough and taking, like, a scooper, scooping it out. Those can be really good. I did that with, like, a everything bagel seasoning on top. It's like everything bagel biscuit. I just rolled them. I would just take the dough and just roll it through the everything biscuit. No. Yeah, runny gravy should be a jailable offense. I have made red-eye gravy. I did like a pork chop dish at the restaurant that had a red eye gravy on it. It was like grits, red eye gravy. I'm already halfway done. Our second bottle. I wish I could like put this up here. It's my phone. Is it especially better now, Snaps, that you get to watch other people eat stuff that you might not be able to eat? Are you finding yourself watching people eat like sushi and such? This dog. He's up my butt. Oh, speaking of King's Coast, this is for an upcoming video I'm doing. I got two because I knew Kelly was gonna drink most of one. He's like halfway through. I'm like almost done this already. So good. Cocoa. Everything feels so vivid. Oh God. Is it like when you're like that part of being sick where like everything, you could feel everything, you could like everything is super intense? King's Coast makes good coffee. Oh yeah, it sold out pretty darn quick. I think I'm gonna do that viral thing for a video where they make the little like bath. What would you call it? A bath bomb for cocoa? Cocoa bath bomb? Where you like the little chocolate ball, and you drop it in to your hot milk, and it explodes with like marshmallows and stuff. Calling it a hot chocolate bomb sounds like an explosive device. I think I want to try and do like fill it with Kahlua as well. To like maybe do one or two that have like Kahlua on the inside, so when you drop it in, it like bursts and makes like a alcoholic hot chocolate. See, Obi got tired of watching me eat, and then he goes and eats his own food. I don't know if you can hear him crunching in the background. Well, we're almost about to hand things over. Is there a command for the schedule so people can see who is coming up and what they have in store? I know 24K is next. But I think we also have you coming up today, Rec, and Riley? Schedule. There you go. There we go. Where's info? Ooh, poked myself in the eye. Okay. There we go. Like I said, thank you so much for enjoying breakfast in my home with me today. I appreciate every single one of you. And your support by just showing up helps people find AbleGamers. It also is a great time of year to be spending with friends, even if it's through the internet. We have all the information in chat with donate, exclamation point donate, exclamation point incentives. You can find me on YouTube at Chef Swain. You can find me on Twitter at Swainstash and Instagram at Swainstash as well. All right, let's kind of clean up a little bit here and get ready for our transition. Leave you with this shot of these biscuits. My empty plate. All right, 24, are you ready to take over the show? I am going to unmute.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? You ready?
Yeah, always.
Cool. I'm going to count down, and I'll hit stop.
Okay, you want to like go 3, like, are you starting from 3 or?
Yeah, I'll do 3, 2, 1, and then hit stop.
Okay.
And then you can just hit start from there.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. Bye, everyone. 3, 2, 1, stop.